that's what I used to call all the whores in high school. I would refer to them as certified pre-owned. Let me hear.
Bro, I was messaging Covino, and I don't know if you guys heard, but she kind of clowned him and said he had a dad bod.
Who's she?
Catch that?
Because you just started with she.
Melody. Sorry.
Okay.
And she clowned him, and so we're texting back and forth, and I know Covino knows me, and he knows how I am, but fucking bro, I tried to fucking respond and shit through the message with Siri, and it left out fucking 2 crucial words, and it kind of changed the whole message. So the 2 crucial words were my daughter, but and I'm not going to give you all our business or whatnot about the message, but have you ever text somebody where maybe you were doing it through Siri?
A memory came up on Facebook. It was like, hey, you said this, or you're
still on that shit?
Yeah, Doug. Me and my grandma, the only 2 people left.
Do you use Dust to sign in? Or skeleton or fucking skeleton bones, bro? Is that how you sign in? You get some skeleton. I'm
trying to age myself up a little bit because I feel like some of the bigger people that you're thinking about, like in the podcast game, you got the Rogans, the Shabs. They're not older, but they're older than me. So Covino and Rich, right? They're in their early 40s. And so I'm trying to age myself up a little bit. If I'm over here talking about TikTok all day, I mean, is anybody ever going to take me serious? No, I got to be serious. I got to be over here. I have to let people know that I'm still on Facebook. But anyway, it shared a memory with me. And it had said, when you're not busy, I wanted to tell you about my doctor's appointment, ... He's nuts. And then I had sent another text and said that Brianna, my girl, had yelled out, D's nuts. So it was the voice to text that I was doing. So Siri, that one, they didn't do me wrong. They actually corrected it because it could have said D's nuts. And I think I was texting my mom.
Oh, shit.
So she had yelled out D's nuts because she just saw me doing voice to text and she thought it was funny. I got yeah, she freaking just from the, down the fucking room. She's like, D's nuts.
That's classic, bro. I like that.
So yeah, so I had put on Facebook. That's when I knew she was the one, was because she was over here making D's nuts jokes, and this was like 4 or 5 years ago,
Well, Welvin the Great did want me to ask you if you're going to the barbecue.
Who's Welvin the Great?
The D's nuts guy. He told me to ask you if you were going to go to the barbecue.
Oh, the something came in the mail for you today, guy?
No, the barbecue, bro. You signed up. You agreed for it. Are you going to go? What time are you going to be there?
I don't know.
Remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
Where I slapped my meat across your grill.
Fucking mutt! You fucking piece of shit! Come on. Fuck, keep that motherfucker here. Keep him here.
That's the character that Rich Davis was talking about. I don't know if you guys heard this past week, but Rich Davis was actually talking about how he checked us out, and he was saying El Cucuy is quite a character. And you know what? I agree.
Thanks, Rich.
I feel like I wouldn't have been doing this show this long with El Cucuy if he was just some lame, So I feel like doing it with somebody who's a character, who brings the funny, who brings an outside perspective, who thinks a lot differently than I do in a lot of ways. I mean, who else could I do the show with besides El Cucuy? I don't know.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate the compliment. And shout out Rich Davis. Just glad that he checked our show out, and it seemed like he might have even liked it a little bit.
Hey, Rich doesn't believe you're an Italiano. He thinks you're a vato loco.
What, I got to show him my fucking boat card or what, bro? What the fuck do you want to see? I don't understand. And I'll take that. I mean, I got love for my vato locos. So if you want to compare me to them, I'll take the compliment. However, yes, I'm Italiano.
That's so funny. And Covino called him out. He was like, no. He was like, he's an Italiano. And Rich was like, no, he's not. He said that you're cut from the same cloth as the dude from This Fool. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, but you know what, though? I mean, so let me ask you this. Am I really cut from the same cloth as This Fool? Or did we just both grow up in California? And maybe, an underprivileged part of the state, because I grew up in Fresno. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy ass shit growing up. And I definitely can relate to This Fool.
This Fool, that fool, and all the fools, really.
Every fool out there. And all the fucking and all the Sucio Vatos, too.
You know what? I have something that I need a little bit of clarification on. Because Covino and Rich have both said this in different times, different, whenever I hear the term or the phrase, or it's a term, but when people say their hometown, my hometown, okay, what do you think from El Cucuy's perspective that they're talking about?
I think it could mean two things. And I think that and I take two things from it. That's either where you're from, like born, right? or where you spent the majority of your time that you feel like it shaped you and your character and your personality?
Okay, cool. I'm glad you had these two perspectives because this isn't what I've heard either one of them within the last year talk about. When they're talking about their hometown, they're talking about where they're currently living. And for me,
hometown?
They're saying and so
okay, that's fine. But so what would you change it to? Where are you from?
No. It's just that when they're referencing, they'll say but that's not how things are done in my hometown or something, right? But they're referring to where they live now. So for
Sherman
me,
Oaks or Sherman Heights or whatever.
Yeah. So they're talking about like Sherman Oaks or fucking the Valley or wherever the fuck they are. And so for me, when I hear, oh, my hometown, I think of, like you said, either where you were born, but say you weren't raised there, but you were born there and a month into your life, your parents moved you and raised you somewhere else, right? To me, that would be like your hometown. Like my girl was born in Florida, but she was raised in Temecula, California. So she's from
Temecula.
So she's from Temecula because she only spent like a couple of months in Florida while she was a newborn.
Bro, but, you know what, bro? Basic math and numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
And if you just bust out the percentage, the one with the highest percentage, bro, the number that has the highest fucking little percentage sign behind it, that's where you're from.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it's to me, it's kind of crazy because I've heard them talk about like, oh, the Trader Joe's in my hometown. But they're talking about where they live right now, where their house is located right now. And I guess it makes sense. That's the town their home is in. But to me, it's kind of weird because I've always thought of that as my hometown, where I grew up, where I was born, where I fucking this or that. But it's just weird because I kind of feel like maybe it could be an East Coast type of thing because
it might be.
You know how they refer to waiting in line. You know, if you're at the bank and you're in line, you'll hear them say online. Like somebody drew a line on the floor and you're standing on it.
Line.
So
they say soda pop instead of soda or pop.
I don't know. I think pop might be a little more like Midwest type of thing.
Midwest,
yeah. People, those flyover states that people call them.
But you know what? You know what though, bro? Here's the thing. So I lived in Southern Humboldt for about 2 years. I lived in Northern Humboldt for about 2.5 years. And I lived in Southern Oregon, Coos Bay, for about 4 years. I'm not from none of those fucking places. I was there for a minute. I kicked it.
Yeah.
I had a couple spots. You know, at the time I was a local yokel, but I'm not a local yokel. No, I ain't been to Coos Bay in fucking 8 years. You know what I mean? I ain't lived there in 10.
What's a local yokel?
Local yokel means okay, so in Coos Bay, when you're a local yokel, you're hitting up that little bar over there in North Bend where they got a laundromat and casino games in there. So you can play slot machines, pool, order fried food, and wash your clothes. If you can do all that, bro, any day of the week for 52 weeks, you're a local yokel.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you said, what did you say right now? Fuck. There was something that reminded me of Rich Davis this week where this dude, I'm like, Rich, if you're going to like take the jokes or whatever that we're saying in the chat, all you got to do is read them word for word. You don't need to take it and try to punch it up a little because
some context in it.
Well, because I had said they were talking about used and pre-owned certified vehicles or something, right? And
who's buying a certified pre-owned vehicle, bro?
Well, that's what they were talking about. Is that I think Rich's is actually a pre-owned
vehicle. Is he?
Because his.
Hold on, time. You know what? Time out.
All right.
As a longtime listener of the show, he's not a little boy anymore. He's starting to be all grown up. Rich Davis is buying a pre-owned vehicle?
Well, it's his Beamer that he got is a 2020. So unless they had it sitting on the lot that nobody's driven yet, then I'm guessing it's pre-owned, right? So they were talking about rebranding that term because it used to be used cars, right? All growing up as kids, it was either you buy a new car or a used car. Now you buy a certified pre-owned car. So
it's been like that for like 20 years, no?
So yeah, it's been the last like 10 or 20 years, but certified pre-owned is what the phrase that they're using. So in the chat, I made a comment because they were talking about used and now it's called certified pre-owned. So I had said that's what I used to call all the whores in high school. I would refer to them as certified pre-owned. And Rich took it and he was like, so if you're dating somebody who is promiscuous, or he said something, would you like, he just
check it out.
He tried to turn it around and like kind of like make it his own. And I was like, Rich, if you'd have just said what I said, it would have been kind of funny and then we could have moved on. But he took it and tried to rephrase it, I guess. I don't know. To me, I was just like, you could have left it the way it was, and it would have been somewhat funny, you know?
Bro, in the hood, we called it, you can call it however you want. Make whatever fucking hood rat spin you want to put on it. Go ahead and do that. In the hood, we call it bodies, and you count them. And they're just, you ain't getting away from that number. It is what it is.
Doug, you've moved around so much that when we started the episode, I think you were smaller than me. And now you look like freaking like you're Manti Tail and I'm a 6-year-old boy. There you go.
I'm scared. That scares me. It doesn't make me feel good.
You know what though? I think it's because the more into the story you get, the more you're getting closer. You're bringing it closer. So for those of you, the way we have for those of you that are listening or watching it on YouTube, if you see El Cucuy going from a gigantic dude to a small dude, it's only because the way our cameras are set up, right? It's no other reason.
No, it's because I want you to buy my feet pics on Feet Finder.
You know, I think this is the 5th episode you've brought this up. So do you have a Feet Finder account? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I fucking signed that fucker up. I just ain't posting no pics yet, but I'm gonna.
That's how you're going to make your millions?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, they tell you that to be wealthy, you have to make money while you sleep. And if people are buying pics of my feet while I sleep, I'm on my way to getting wealthy. Just saying.
I feel you 100%. So go ahead, feetfinder.com/El Cucuy 805. 805. That's how you know it's him. It'll say 805.
That's fucking classic, bro. Like my beard. My beard says 805. Check it out.
There you go.
And you know about the 805, D? You fuck with those or no?
No, actually, I've never had one of those. Whenever I hear 805s, I think it's a few numbers short of the 808s that you hear in music, but that's something a little different.
What about a 508? You ever had one of those?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. What is? You drink one of those backwards?
It's just backwards.
You drink it with the label facing away from you, so it says 508.
You just look at it. You try to look at it from this side of the bottle, bro. So you see 805, and the back seat, I see 508.
All right. You know what? I know that you've been a gym rat for the last year or so. You know, always kind of gone. The last year or so, you've been a little more consistent. So I want to know, when it comes to the gym, are you somebody who goes to the gym with no headphones like a serial killer? Or do you wear headphones like a normal person?
Bro, no, we all get ADD. Like, this social media, having everything at your fingertip on your phone shit has killed everybody. And absolutely not. I do absolutely not. Will I ever go to the gym without headphones? I will take my ass home and get my shit. Yes. You do? Are you trying to kill me next, bro?
No. I'm sorry. My bad. No, definitely. But Rich had said, he was like, no, but he's somebody who doesn't even sweat at the gym, right? So he was like, well, why would I want to go home
he doesn't sweat at the gym?
You haven't heard that? Like 2-3 weeks
ago?
Bro,
I look horrible, bro. I'm wearing like 4 layers. I've got a wife beater, a t-shirt, a fucking one of them little stretchy shirts that fucking keeps all your compression long sleeves, and a hoodie, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hitting 5-6 miles on the exercise bike for 20-25 minutes, and I'm hitting the fucking sauna for another 20 or 30.
The way you're talking about, you're layered up and stuff, right? That's typically how I like to go as well.
Yeah.
And for me, since I'm a big boy, I'm gonna sweat a lot, right? So for
Outcast?
me, it catches a lot.
Outcast, bro, or what?
Yeah, it catches a lot of the sweat. My arms, my body, whatever. So I'm wearing like a compression shirt, like you said.
Yeah.
I might have like a t-shirt over, and then I got a hoodie or a zip up or something to, it just makes it a lot easier for me than to be like dripping all over the place. Rich was saying that he's like, well, if I'm just going to go and, do a couple of curls or whatever, he was like, I'm not going to break a sweat. And for me, I'm like, Okay.
He needs more weight.
I feel like if you're looking at this from an outsider perspective, you're like, D, what are you talking about? You're a fat ass and he's in shape. Yeah, but still, I feel like if you're going to go to the gym
Rich
and you're
is not in shape, bro.
I feel like if you're not going to break a sweat, what's the point of even going? To say you did? I think, is that really what it is? So somebody's asking you, hey, what'd you do today? I went to the gym. I freaking had lunch. Are you just checking it off? Because if you're not really breaking a sweat, what are you doing? If you're not trying to monitor your heart rate, making sure your heart rate's, up, elevated, whatever, it's like, what is it? I read something recently about like where your max heart rate is supposed to be at. Like if you're trying to get the most, out of your fucking workout or whatever. But I'm just like, if you're going to go and you're literally not even going to sweat enough to where your t-shirt's a little funky, like as far as like, oh man, that was like, it's sticking to you a little bit, or then you just leave the gym and go on with the rest of your day because it's just like you were at Walmart or something. I don't get that.
I gotta rinse every time. I mean,
100%.
But you know what though? If you're not trying to get gains and you're just trying to stay like, you're just tight. You know what I'm saying? You're just trying to maybe get cut. Maintain. Maybe not even cut. Maybe you're just trying to stay firm. You know what I'm saying? So you could probably try to stay firm without sweating. But I think we're probably jaded because we're bigger dudes. And when we go, part of that is weight loss. You know what I mean? I don't know if Rich Davis goes to the gym to lose weight.
I doubt he does. But
so maybe that's where it comes from. He might not go to the sauna, bro.
But it's so weird because I've known, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I just kick it with a bunch of sweaty dudes and all my friends. But I feel like I've been to the gym with dudes that are like hella in shape. And if we're lifting or whatever, I feel like automatically you start lifting, you're trading off on sets on a machine or benching or whatever, or I feel like automatically you're breaking a sweat. So to me, it is kind of like if
you're going for max reps.
Not really. If you're
going with your homies, well, bro, be honest though. If you're going with your homies, you're not doing no lightweight fucking reps. Like you guys are at least somewhat competitive. Like it's not that you're going to pick a weight where you can't do 10 and maybe you do, but you're definitely trying to outweight each other. So if you're with someone smaller than you and you can normally do like 275 and he does 225, you might do 250. But if that fucker does 300, you're probably going to try to do 300 too.
You know what? That's a good point. I'm just trying to think of like, I don't know. Cause like, I feel like, you know what? I don't know. I guess you make a point because I'm trying to think of dudes that I've gone with that I know that can lift way more than me. But I'm like, so you're saying like, if they wouldn't have gone with me, maybe they're not going as hard, but I feel like, I don't know.
I think when
I'm
you're
torn.
with your bro,
I'm torn.
I think that when you're with your bros, like even if you go to the bar, right? If me and you kick it for the first time in person, we go to the bar. I don't want you to outdrink me. Like every beer you have, I want to at least have the same beer. I don't want to.
I can tell you this now. I won't outdrink you. I could tell you that for sure.
And I'm not necessarily trying to go there to outdrink you because I don't really care. It's not a competition, but I at least want to be like when you're ready for a beer, I want to be ready too. So I think that. If you're playing good at the pool table, I want to play good at the pool table too. If you're hitting your little putt golf, I want to hit my hole in one too. Like, I mean, bro, if you bowl 160, I want to bowl 161 too. I don't know, bro. I'm a competitive motherfucker. So
no, I feel you on that, but I'm just feeling like, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is because we're bigger dudes, but I've never heard of or I've never even seen anybody when I'm at the gym. I've never seen like a thin dude not sweating and then just, all right, see you guys later, fucking bounce, Well,
but to be honest though, even when I go to the gym, I don't even lift weights. The only thing I do at the gym is cardio. Mm-hmm. That's it. Because I don't care. I feel like I lift enough at work, like lifting stuff here, lifting stuff there. I'm probably lifting less than between 25 and 50 pounds, 100, 200 times a day. So I'm not trying to get buff. That'll keep me toned. You know what I'm saying? And so the gym for me is just cardio. I just want to get my heart. I don't care about the only muscle I really care about besides my wiener is my fucking heart. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, bro, I care about my wiener muscle my fucking penis muscle and my heart muscle, bro. So when I go to the gym, it ain't to make other muscles cute. I'm not there to have fucking Hulk Hogan 24-inch fucking pythons, bro. I'm there to make sure I can live to be 90.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel like the biggest thing for me definitely has been, and I mean, I've only been in the gym recently. I got back. But for me, the biggest thing is definitely my heart, right? Definitely the cardio. So I'm doing the stair climber, the fucking treadmill, the this, the that, the whatever. I like to lift, and not like you said, not to get the Hulk Hogan 24-inch pythons, but for me, I enjoy it. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. I don't enjoy the cardio so much. I do that for the health perspective, right? So I'm trying to build my heart.
My Apple Watch, bro, my Apple Watch library. When the doctor asked me how much I exercise, I want to be able to show him, hey, motherfucker, I'm riding 30 miles a week on the bike for 52 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I feel you. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to me. It was just so weird for me to hear that recently. But actually, what got us started on this conversation was the headphones thing. And Rich was saying that he doesn't wear headphones at all. And then Spot had said sometimes that he doesn't wear headphones because he likes to enjoy the sounds of the gym.
Fuck that.
and for
fuck that. Love you, Spot, but fuck that.
Yeah, no, it's, I don't know. I guess
enjoy the sounds of TikTok. Fuck that. Or you know what I've been doing lately, bro?
What's up?
I've been killing a double whammy. Motherfuckers, you can bite my style. I'm giving you permission right now. Go ahead and do what I do because the shit works and it's dope. You want to kill two birds with one stone and you really want to have fun doing it, sign up for that Duolingo shit. And Duolingo, you owe me some money for this plug. But I do my Duolingo, bro. I'll hit the sauna here in the morning at like 6:37. No one in the sauna, bro, and I'm over here
6:37. That's exact. Do you go every day at 6:37,
bro? That's when no people are there, and that's when I can do Duolingo while I'm in the sauna. So not only am I sweating for 25 minutes in the sauna, I'm learning Spanish.
So if you're ever in California and you walk by a sauna and you hear El Burrito, you know El Cucuy's in there.
Lo siento. No, I'll be doing that, and then when I go to the gym, when I'll take off from that one, because I've said it here before, but I'll go ahead and repeat myself. But here in Lompoc, only place that has a sauna is Pier Fitness, but they don't really have no exercise bikes. They only got one. So I'll go there for the sauna, and then I go down the road to Planet Fitness. And then when I'm at Planet Fitness, that's when I get my cardio. And there's more cakes at Planet Fitness too. Planet Fitness got the cakes because it's $10 a month. All the cakes go there. But
not here, anyways, dog. At here, our Planet Fitness is nothing but fat ass Mexicans. It's just, I mean, I blend in there, so that's why I don't really like going to that gym. But it is like there's hardly any cakes at ours. So,
oh, we got cakes, and so the cool thing is, so what I'll do though is on Duolingo, you could say when I try to ask you to do a speaking exercise, bro. Like if I'm on the bike, right? Check it out, bro. I'm on the bike, right? I'm just riding. I'm doing my little ride and shit. 5 miles. Here we come.
You remind me of Dumb and Dumber when they're in the car and he pretends he's.
No, I'm riding this shit, right? And then, and so I'll hit, boom, can't speak for 15 minutes. And that way they just ask me regular questions I can answer by hitting the fucking button.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be riding, I'll ride 5 miles and knock out 3 lessons all day.
Very good. And how do you feel that's working for you?
Bro, it's good. I never knew what a boligrafo was or a boleto or a maleta or cartera or there's so much shit, bro. Like comprar, I would have never knew that was to pay.
Yeah.
There's so many words I'm learning on there that are going to help me with my Spanish.
Have they taught you about la cuenta?
Of course, bro. The check?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah, they taught. Hey, that was in like episode 2.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
They have like, motherfucker, I'm on 13. Right?
Oh my! You're almost done with the first season.
Yeah, bro. So they got these like little whatever. You get points. They do stories. They do match the word. You know, they make you repeat it back. They repeat it to you. They do all these little exercises. But if you're like trying to learn the shit and you're like good with the phone and you fuck with your phone all day anyways, it's hella easy to learn it, dude. It's like it's hella adaptive and shout out Duolingo. So yeah, I bet you within the next 6 to 12 months I'm done, bro. I'll be fluent.
Dang. See, I've been trying to learn Spanish for 34 years and I'm still not fluent. So if Duolingo can be helping you out in 6 months to a year, I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, because your level is probably, similar to mine, give or take more or less, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so you already know a lot of shit. It helps with the laws and the L's and the Elia and fucking, and ocupada, ocupado, like when to use feminine and masculine, like because you can see it. Like
you use feminine if it doesn't have a wiener. That's what I've learned.
Oh, that's fucking great. Well, what I learned on Duolingo is if you're looking at the sentence, especially if you're reading it or if you're listening, if the sentence ends in O's, it probably is going to end in an O. If the sentences end, a lot of the words are then it's going to end in, an ocupada. So it's dope. Check it out, Duolingo.
Duolingo, there you go. Duolingo right now, use code word Kukui. So promo code Kukui to get 10% off your year-long subscription at Duolingo.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Where are we at now? What you got? Oh, you know what? Actually, okay. While Covino was talking about the headphones in the gym or whatever, because there's some dudes that were irritating him because, Doug, I feel like this is a lot of this younger generation where he said they'll be listening to, say they have their headphones in, but they're listening to Bad Bunny. And they're over here thinking they're Bad Bunny, singing louder because they got their headphones in, or maybe they don't and they just got the phone playing. But a lot of these kids are singing Bad Bunny out loud, and Covino's sitting there like, "Are you serious, dog? Like you're really gonna sit here and just like sing loud off the top of your lungs like nobody else is in here?" And you know what? I'll give you this. I work on the campus of a community college, and there's kids walking around on FaceTime like. Yeah, especially a lot of the athletes. Yeah, so I'm going to go right there, and then I'll be at Starbucks in 3 minutes. So it's like, dog, throw some fucking AirPods in or put it up to your ear. The whole world ain't got to hear your conversation. No. Well, dog, when this happened to me a few weeks ago where I go, all right, when this student leaves my office, I got to go let my supervisor know that this ain't one of my homies because I know she's thinking it's one of my friends. So this kid comes into my office, right? And he's like, hey, so I'm a barber. And I was like, okay, like, all right, have a seat, barber, And he was talking to me about, certain things or whatever. His phone rings and he answers it on speaker, right? So I'm thinking this dude's going to be like, hey, I'll hit you up in a little bit or whatever. I'm right here. Whatever. Boom. Okay, cool. So this dude goes on to be like, hey, so she gave him the money for the strap, so he's going to drop it off.
Oh, shit.
On my mom. Right? And I go, oh, my God. And then so he goes, yeah, no. So he goes on.
Let me guess. Your mom knows what strap is.
So, no. I'm pretty sure my mom doesn't know. But for real, like on anything, this dude's saying that. And I go, for real? I'm like, dog, you're just gonna whatever. So my supervisor walks by my office and she peeks her head in and I'm like, I don't know this dude. Like, what are you looking at me like that for? And then so I go, whatever. So I go, I know she's thinking there's this hood dude in my office. He's super loud. He has to be one of my friends, So then he goes,
one of your friends.
So he goes on to have this conversation.
That doesn't sound very nice, bro.
So he goes on to have this conversation for a couple of minutes. And then finally he's like, hey, well, right now I'm in college. So I'll call you later. And then
I'm in college. I'm in college.
On anything. He goes, not even, I'm
at school.
I'm at school.
Hey, I'm in class.
Not I'm at school. Not I'm at the college. He said, I'm in college. And then, hey, you want me to, so this dude want me to, so it reminds me about when you said ocupada, right?
Yes.
So, Doug, so this dude is 30, right? And so then some little Mexican lady walks up to the door of my office, right? And I'm like, oh, and I point like, hey, do you know her or what? And he looks and he goes, Amá. He goes, estoy ocupado.
Oh, he's busy. Oh, that's great.
So his mom, he had gone, to be in college with his mom. And
with his mom?
With his mom, yeah, because he was there with her. And so that's why when he was in my office, she came back there to look for him like, hey, what's taking you so long? Yeah. Right. And then he was like, he went from a 30-year-old guy that I was talking to that was just talking about a strap.
Cool, bro.
Yeah, he went from this fool to a 4-year-old boy, mad at his mom because she was interrupting him. So
I've seen that so much in my life, bro.
It was so funny though, because he went from so she
two different people.
He's gonna drop off the strap to "Amá, estoy ocupado." Like, it was so funny, but
hey, as Rich would say, he was two different people.
He exactly right. We had the S's to we make things plural when they shouldn't be. Mr. Furley's, John Ritter's,
Ritters.
Yeah. So but that just reminded me of these kids where, dog, they're like for real. Like, you really need to answer your phone while you're in school and on speakerphones for the whole world to hear. So then when he left, I went to my supervisor and I go, "Hey, just to let you know, I didn't know that dude." And she goes, "Oh yeah." She goes, "I was thinking it was one of your friends." And I was like, "Nah, it wasn't." I was just like, "Yeah, nah, it wasn't one of my friends." So
that's when you're like, "Hey, when the nerdy white guy comes, I'll just assume he's related to you next."
That is so funny. I could go on with this, but you never know who's listening, so I'm just gonna.
That's probably not a good idea.
So I'm just gonna kick back. Yeah. So
that's a good idea, bro.
But yeah, I think that is a good idea, especially you know more details. So we'll steer away from this. But it reminded me of when Covino said these Bad Bunny type kids. It reminded me, and I've said this before on the podcast, but we used to call these kids at school the Anercron. No, this is like 10, 15 years ago. We used to call them the Anercrony crew because there was these Anercrony.
Say that shit slow, bro. Anercrony?
Yeah, exactly. Because
what's that stand for?
Well, because there was these like little Mexican dudes when we first started college. And they were mostly like soccer players, but they were like, these kids that would wear like aeropostales. Mm-hmm. And but like in their mind,
aeropostales.
They would in their mind they were wearing like Abercrombie, but they couldn't say Abercrombie, so they would say like Anercrony,
They didn't say Abercrombie?
No, they would say Anercrony, So we would call them like the Anercrony crew, So they would wear their aeropostales, their A87s,
Mm-hmm.
But in their mind they were like, they were fancy. They were part of the Anercronies, So that's what that reminded me of these kids nowadays. They all have that stupid Bad Bunny haircut that looks like they put a bull on their head, where how back in the day it was the Lloyd Christmas and everybody made fun of it. Now you see all these like
Caesar, bro.
little kids mobbing around with like, it's like a fade, and at the top right here it's like a Lloyd Christmas box out.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like I just picture those kids next to Covino in the sauna being like,
which is sad because those fuckers are like the kids in the 80s that crimped their hair.
Exactly. And every one of them has that same stupid haircut. They all got these big old glass earrings. Like, it's just like, come on now, for real. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm old. Yeah. I'm officially old. That's why I'm on Facebook.
No, you know what though, bro? I don't give a fuck. Corny is corny, right? And to tell something was right or successful is by longevity. And that corny ass shit gonna die out here faster than skinny jeans. I'm just saying, bro. The jeans that make your nuts pop, they ain't in style no more.
Yeah,
I'm not saying baggy is back, but people ain't doing that no more, bro. Remember when it got out of control and motherfucking looked like it was hugging your leg?
Yeah, no.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing, bro?
You know what? Actually, I remember. Do you remember back in the day when 5'4" were sponsoring like Covino and Rich or whatever?
Yes.
Well, I signed up for their little subscription service, right? Yeah. Where you would pay like $60 a month or something, and they would send you like a t-shirt and some jeans, and next month it was like a tie and some socks or whatever. I remember one time they had sent me some jeans that were my size, but on paper they were my size, but when I received them, because this was around that time where you're talking about them hugging you, dog, these probably should have
lube them up to get them.
Dog, these were the tightest pants in the history of pants to ever. It felt like I should have been wearing these in third grade.
How'd your balls feel?
Dog, I got them on. I never wore them. And I didn't, like I told you
Got 'em
earlier.
all the way on or what?
No, like I told you earlier today, I hate returning shit, right? So
Yes, you did.
So
I love it.
what I did was I just kept them for years, like literally years, and then I just put them in like a Goodwill bag or something because I put them on one time, brand new pants. They would have been dope if they were bigger, but being that they hugged me so much, I was like, I can't be in public with these.
So I got a question. You just sparked something for me. Have you ever had pants like that you bought, right? Say maybe you bought them at DD's, Double D's, Ross, Marshalls, Burlington, I don't know, whatever your discount fucking bullshit is. Maybe you bought them over there, right? It was a good deal. And it was your size. You got home and you're like, man, they're just a cunt hair too snug, right? Like, they're cool and I like them and they're dope, but they're a little bit too snug. Have you ever used that as motivation to try to lose the weight to get in them? Because I've done that shit before and barely this last time did it work. Like we were at me and Augustina were at like the outlets in Prim, Nevada on the way to Vegas. And they had a Tommy Hilfiger. They had jeans for like $12. And so I had bought ones that I was a little chunky at the time that were 40 32s. And then I had bought some that were 38 32s. Yeah. So everybody knows Calvin and Tommy runs their shit small anyways. And if you're a big dude, usually you have to go that bigger size. If in some shit you're a 38, but in some shit you're a 40, if you're fucking with Tommy or Calvin, you're a 40, right? And so I remember I bought a pair of each. And then now my 38 32s are baggy. So have you ever... But that don't happen often. So I'm not doing the happy dance too much. I mean, it is what it is. It did happen. True story. But that doesn't happen often. Have you ever did that, though, where something was maybe like on the border of being comfortable? Like you can make it work, but you feel like it's too tight, but then you lost weight to get into it?
No. Okay. Let me tell you, though. But it has happened inadvertently because I've always been, most of my adult life, been 38, 40. 38, 40. Usually, okay, if I'm in jeans and they're 40.
40 length?
No, 38 or 40, but by like 32, 34, whatever, right?
Okay, I was like, damn, bro, you got 40-inch fucking legs, bro?
No.
Why aren't you in the NBA?
No, 30 waist. I'm talking about waist, 38 or 40.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been at, 38, 40.
Most of my life. And so the thing is, though, when I'm wearing, if I'm in a size 40 and they're getting a little snug, that's where I'm like, but it's not like I just bought them. I just tried them on. But if they're mine,
feel it.
I feel it. And I'm like, all right, dog, kick back. So right now.
No, hey, wait, you know what's sad about that, bro? I don't even mean to cut you off.
What's up?
Every chubby person out there knows that. Like what you just said, you got them damn jeans. And when them motherfuckers are a little bit too snug, you know you've been acting up. You know it. Oh, what the fuck? Oh man, like I can still get them on and shit, but you should got a little bit of leeway here and shit, partner. What's going on?
Yeah, no, you start trying to make excuses like, well, I did just wash them.
Weekend.
I did wash them, Weekends. Usually when you wash them, they are a little more snug, It
is Thanksgiving.
No, but you know what though? Right now I'm actually cool because I'm at a 38 and they're comfortable. They're a little loose, and I just got back into the gym like a week or two ago, right? So. For me, I'm like, cool. I'm at a comfortable 38. I'm like, who knows? We're at episode 148. Let's see by episode 160 if I'm in a 36, which I've only been at once or twice in my adult life. With 36.
Me too, bro.
That's when I was like, I was getting down, So
mine was in 01 and I had the flu. I think I wore them. They were silver tabs and shit. They were 36,
and I had the flu.
And I rocked them twice.
That is so funny because that's a classic like bigger dude thing, right? Yeah, I did get into these jeans one time, but I had the flu. Like that is
the flu, bro.
To me, that is so funny.
I put them on twice and shit, and that was it. But
Doug, well, think about like when I had all my tonsils and all that work done. I had hung out with my buddy Luis, right? And he was like, dude, you look like hella skinny. And I was like, I had talked to him and he was like, yeah, he had happened to be in town like a week and a half or 2 weeks after I had the surgery. Right. And so we were kicking it and he was like, dude, like for real, like. And it's so funny that it takes us bigger dudes to really drop weight like that dramatically. You had to get the flu or I had to have like all these surgeries, So
And you know what's crazy? Let me add to that though. If that happens when you're already in a kick-ass routine, you might shake 20 pounds.
Yeah. No, for sure.
If you're already in your shit and you're already cardioing up and you got your little routine and you don't pig out too much while you're down and you fucking pick your routine up as soon as you can, fuck, you might lose 20 pounds doing that.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's definitely, I feel like right now, that's why I'm happy right now because I'm in a good spot.
Happy Gilmore?
I just started incorporating a little more activity into my life. So I'm thinking, cool, I'll be in a good area. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So,
well, I'll just say this. Once I post feet pics, the behind the velvet soap will have a free link.
You'll know it's El Cucuy because the baby toe will have a little bit of pink on it. It'll be the one pink toe. That'll be your thing to stand out.
Hey, whatever's got to be, bro. I'm getting paid. I'm good.
But I wanted to ask you real quick 2 questions I had because they were talking this week about.
Oh yeah,
they were talking about people driving, 16-year-olds driving. Is it too young? Blah, blah, blah.
I heard that.
Rich was saying this or that. So I had 2 questions for you. One is, how old were you when you got your license? Were you one of these people that were waiting for the day of your birthday to show up there?
Motherfucking right.
Or, okay, so you remember, were you, and in California, was it 16? Was it 15? Was it 17?
15 and a half for the permit, 16 for the license after
Same here.
Had the permit for 6 months. So yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. Again, my generation, we were independent. We did shit. Most of us didn't have to be home till the sun was down. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you? Especially if you had cool parents that would let you use the car.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you not? You know, so like me, I hung out with a lot of cats, older cats when I was young, and we go out on Friday or Saturday night and they would be using their parents' car. So, of course, you want to be able to take your other close buddies out because usually when you did that, you hung out with a group and you weren't super tight with everybody in the group, just the driver.
Yeah, no, for me, it was a little bit different if I'm being real with you. For me, I got my license when I was 18
What?
or 19. Yeah, I think so. And for me, it was a lot of, everybody I kicked it with was driving. So I never had that encouragement to.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Why?
How do you go get your money, though? Like, if you don't got a car and someone says, hey, be here at this time, I got a job for you. Or, hey, fucking yada, yada, yada. Like, how? I don't know. It affects your scratch, no?
But the jobs I had when I was a kid wasn't just somebody hitting me up randomly like, hey, come get this so you can get your scratch. It was like I worked like this many days a week after school or whatever. But it wasn't random like that to where, like, to me, it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was never really a priority. Like it was like, I see, like you said, for you, it was a priority. Like, no, I got to get this. I got to get my money. I got to put this or that.
Hey, well, the streets don't make appointments. So I don't care if you're selling knockoff sunglasses, weed, or fucking whatever it is you're selling. You got a pager at that time, and you better be ready to roll when they call.
Yeah, and this is where Rich Davis says that El Cucuy is a character. Because for me, that was never even a part of my life. I was over here learning the freaking I Want It That Way dance in my bedroom, and then like I had to go to work for a few hours in the evening or whatever, you know. But
did he mean I was a character or a caricature? The little dudes where they draw the character fucking cartoon of you at the beach?
Oh no, he definitely said a character because he heard some of the personality. It came out.
Thanks, Rich.
And then I also want to know, do you remember the vehicle that you took your driving test in? That's a hard one, huh? You do remember?
A 1994 Chevy Tahoe Blazer, the smaller one. Not the big old full size one, but remember when they made the one like the Blazers?
It was like the Bronco 2 almost.
Kind of, but it was, you know, but he had the my pops had the extended one, so it was a 94 Chevy Blazer.
Doug, my buddy Johnny that I've talked about, he had a 1990 Blazer. I think it was the last year they made that body style. That shit was so dope, man. It had so much balls in it. I would, if he was going to come pick me up because we were going to go somewhere, dog, I would hear him coming like 4 streets down. Just, I'd be like, oh, that shit was so dope. And most of the time, I mean, he had me driving it because he hated to drive. So he would be like, he'd show up to my pad and I'd go to get in and he was in the passenger seat. Like, nah. But I thought that was dope. I was trying to think of the vehicle that I took my test in. I can't remember. And I thought about this question when they talked about it, like I think on Wednesday or Thursday. Mm-hmm. And right now, I still can't remember which vehicle it was in. I don't remember.
Well, what are the fucking candidates?
I don't know. It might have been my buddy Ralph's Blazer or Bronco.
You did your buddy's car for your...
I might have done that. Was it his Bronco? Because I remember if I didn't, that day I kicked it. The day I got my license, I kicked it with him and his now wife. And I remember we were kicking it that day. So I might have taken his Bronco, or I don't remember. But I can't remember. I can't remember to save my life. But I remember around what time it was. But I'm trying to think of the vehicles that were in my family at that time. I can't remember really what it was, but I don't know. So just you guys out there that are listening, let us know in the comments if you remember the vehicle that you took your driver's test in, because I don't remember. And if I could remember by the time we put this episode out, I'll put it somewhere in the description or the comments or something. But I can't remember to save my life, man.
What about your driver's training? Because I took my driver's training in a Honda Prelude. And that car was so easy to drive. I remember I had the instructor next to me and whatnot. And it was hella easy to drive that little Honda Prelude. What was yours?
Well, I don't even know what a driver training is.
Well, because you fucking waited till you're 35 to get your license. when you're a kid, bro, you got to have 3 hours with a certified instructor and pass the curriculum.
No, that's not how it was for us. We had a driver's class, like a driver's ed type of class. Mm-hmm. That was just on paper in school. I took that. But then for us, it was, you were like 15 and a half when you get your permit.
Yes.
But they didn't require anything else. It was just like, you have your permit for this amount of time. They didn't even say, hey, you need to have this many amount of hours. It was just, you took your permit test. If you pass the written, then they assume you're driving around with your family or your friends or whoever, whoever is licensed. And then when it's time to be, 16 and you're coming in to get your actual license, they have you do your test right there. But it was never, you didn't need anything to sign off on or anything, or they did this many hours and this kind of, it was all kind of one shot.
Well, maybe that was a California thing, because I think if you wait till you're 18, you don't need the driver's training part with the behind the wheel training. But you just got to pass the written test. I know as an adult in Cali, if you wait till you're 18, you just pass a written test, and then I think you're done, dude. I don't know. Maybe you got to do a driver's test. I don't fucking know.
Doug, I'm laughing because I'm remembering my brother is 6 years older than me, right? So I remember when he was, 16 or whatever, because he was one of those who he wanted his license right away and all that. Yeah. Well, he might have not even been 16.
Sorry. What do you mean one of those?
He was.
What the fuck does that mean, bro? I was one of those. What does one of those mean? Like the go-getters that when you're
yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to group those go-getters, because those are the same motherfuckers at Disneyland or the amusement park trying to pass for 54 when they're 53, because they want to hurry up and get past the fucking line. Like, yeah, dude, when everything was available for me, I wanted it. I wanted it all.
Yeah. So you don't have to be offended. I just wasn't a go-getter.
What do you mean one of those?
So you and my brother were one of those. And I remember, Doug, so if he was 15 and a half, then I was 10, 9 or whatever. But I remember one day, Doug, for me, it's so funny because I remember I was like, oh, fuck, this is how my life ends. I'm 9 years old. Because, Doug, I remember him for some reason. The vehicle was automatic. I remember the car that we were in that day. It was an automatic. It was like a 98 Grand Prix or something, right? Or something. I don't remember what it was. But it was green, and it was it was it was a Grand Am. It was a Grand Am. Okay. It was green, whatever. I'm sitting in the back seat like a little 9-year-old kid or whatever. And my brother's learning how to drive. My mom's in the passenger seat, dog. And I just remember my brother driving on the opposite side of the road, looking at his feet. I guess he was kind of like, hey, which one's the brake type of shit?
Oh, shit.
And I see a vehicle driving head on to us. And I'm like, this is it. this is how I go.
That's the worst story I've ever heard when it comes to driving, bro.
Yeah, it was so funny because I remember like
That's fucked.
right there with like my Tickle Me Elmo or whatever. Like, damn, this is how I'm gonna die, huh? Right?
That's horrible.
So yeah, that was one of, maybe that's why I was terrified to actually get my license at 15 and a half or whatever the hell he was, you know?
So check it out. So my mom grew up in Colorado, and like her family was all like dairy farmers, right? They raised cows and sold the milk. And I remember being like 9, and my cousin let me drive trucks around the little farms out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew how to drive by the time I was 10.
Oh, see? Yeah, not me. I remembered, oh, you know what? And then when my sister was like 2, she got in, we had one of the vehicles in our backyard and she got in it. It was on, maybe like my dad got out to like move a football out of the way or something. But then my sister jumped in and drove into our grill that we had that was like built into the lawn, you know, like it was like brick and all that. My sister drove into that in the vehicle when she was like 2. So she was 2, I was 8. So I think around 8, 9 is where she drove into our grill and my brother was driving on the opposite end of the road. So if you're having a psychologist look at this from that end, that might be why.
Makes sense. No, I remember, I think I was like 6 or 7. I fucking yanked the shit out of park and crashed into the neighbor's car.
You pulled it out of park when you were how old?
I was a kid, bro. I was like, I was 6 or 7 years old, and I don't know. I fucking somehow I took it out of the fucking park, and it rolled back. We were in a little cul-de-sac, so it rolled down our driveway, went through the little road, went up their driveway. It was, I don't even think they filed insurance, but I cracked it. I hit it.
And then 3 or 4 years later, you're driving at 10.
I was.
So hey, you know what though?
And I was driving stick. And that's the thing too. So my cousin let me drive when I was like 9. And then when I told my parents, because a lot of those roads back there weren't even paved yet, bro, they were still gravel, and there weren't a whole lot of popo. So then when I told my parents, my mom had a little Mitsubishi stick shift, little 1987 Mighty Max, and it was a stick shift. And so she would let me drive that. So I would drive that from like one farm to the other, because you take these little gravel roads and it was like a mile and a half apart, but you never crossed the highway and there was no law.
Dog, I don't think I learned how to drive stick shift till I was like 28 years old.
But see, Rich said he's never had a PB&J till he was 30, and you say you're more like Rich.
Yeah, that is true. Because, Ed, you know what? The reason I had to learn was because me and Johnny were laying tile, right? Me and Johnny are laying tile. We're taking a flatbed truck that was stick shift. He didn't know how to drive stick shift. So I was like, well, I guess this is where I'll learn, because I had an idea, right?
Right.
So that's when I had to learn. And I mean, I had to learn real quick, because you're driving a flatbed truck with, you know, pallets worth of tile on the back of it. You better learn how to, you know, if you buck that like a Bronco, you're going to throw all the tile off. It's going to be a mess, you know? So I had to learn real quick. But yeah, that was leaving, because it was his grandpa's old flatbed. And I remember leaving his grandpa's house. His grandpa was laughing at me, because at first I was like, oh, you know, bucking, you know, like we went and picked up the tile and stuff. And then I was fine. I had to end up driving that a few times, and I learned, I mean, quickly. It's like,
bro, what's crazy is on that farm back there, bro, when I was like 15, they used to, because they were dairy farmers, they grew all their own hay. They bought the shit from Budweiser, the fucking, that they mixed in it, and the hops or whatever the fuck they bought. And so anyways, I remember one time they were paying me back in the day like $5 an hour, and I would drive a long flatbed, and it was stick shift. I was 15. I didn't have a driver's license yet. And they would pay me $5 an hour to drive this thing, to go from where they were baling the hay, and they would load it with the fucking tractor on there, to where they were going to store it. I would drive it there, and then they would load it, I would drive it, they would unload it, and boom, repeat. And that's a little behind the velvet soap, bro.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's cool, man. I think it's something that's another thing that I don't think kids are ever really going to drive stick shift from here on out, because think about all the vehicles. Not only are they automatic, but they're turning all into electric cars. So it's not
paddle
even
shifters.
Yeah. My buddy has a Beamer that's with the paddle shifting. It's pretty dope, dog. that's super dope to drive.
Yeah,
My buddy
Camry
Chris.
had paddle shifting.
This was my buddy Chris's. This was probably like he's always been like a Beamer guy. This is like a few Beamers ago, but it was so dope.
A few Beamers ago.
For real, it was a convertible. It was dope, man. So that was dope. So
maybe in the show, bro, hashtag pedal commander, because now that I got my little Tacoma, shout out Mito. He works at a truck customization place called Noble Distributing in Fresno. So I told him about this little pedal commander and, asked him if it was any good. He bought one for his truck. Well, anyways, he got a Tacoma. I got a Tacoma. Bro, he put this fucking pedal commander in my shit. And typically when fucking you're gunning it, you got to fucking go to the ground, right? It starts here and you're like, and the way that it goes, the faster you push it to the pedal to the metal. That's the term. You're supposed to go faster, right? This fucking pedal commander, bro, it almost like it reverses the fucking pedal where like you barely tap that fucker. Went.
Oh, yeah.
Your fucking head's jerking.
And then,
Yeah, bro. You can't even fucking jut, and you're just jerking. Excuse me. You ever put a chip in your car?
No, I was never that dude. Or the little muffler on the end just to make it sound cooler. Nah, not that dude.
Not the muffler, but the chip. When you diagnose it, when it gives you like the codes or whatnot of what's wrong with it, just the one that plugs in right there that affects performance. You never done that?
Oh, I have had chips in my car, but they've been Doritos.
Oh, what kind? Cool Ranch or spicy nacho?
Cool Ranch. You know what, Doug? It's so funny because my girl, she was buying my daughter like snacks for her lunch. So she'll make her like a little sandwich and put like a bag of chips or something. So the other day, my daughter was like, "Daddy," she's like, "Come here." And I was like,
I thought you said she didn't eat fucking nothing but nuggets and mac and cheese.
She's expanded her shit a little bit. But no, and you know what? This was very recently because she had never tried those Cool Ranch Doritos. And I was like, Kennedy.
She loves them.
I was like, listen, dog, you're going to love these. And she was like, no. And I was like, Kennedy, for real. I'm like, I'm your daddy. Would I lie to you? She's like, I don't know. You're a little shady. She looked at me.
You are shady.
And
You're shady as fuck, bro.
So she looked at me and I was like, Kennedy. She tried them and she was like, oh, damn. So then the other day, well, maybe it's like a week or so ago, she's like, Daddy. I was like, what? She's like, hey, Mommy bought me snacks for my lunch. I was like, oh, cool. She's like, you want to see something? I was like, what? She's like, come here. So she has me go to like the little pantry area and she like opens the door and I was like, what? She goes, look it. And she pulled out a thing of Cool Ranch Doritos. She was like, she put these in. And I was like, oh, Kennedy, she got you some of those? She's like, yeah. So she's like, oh, shit. So now those are her shit right now. So definitely they were my shit. A lot of people say they're overrated.
Right now, bro.
I don't think they're overrated. I think they're rated just perfectly fine.
Cool Ranch. You know what, bro? I'm going to be honest. And I'm going to probably stir some trouble up with this comment, but I think Cool Ranch is better than nacho cheese.
I don't want to say I agree, but I'm very close to agreeing because, I mean, nacho cheese are the classic.
They are.
But
they're good.
The Cool Ranch, though. Doug, am I tripping or did the Cool Ranch flavor come out like in the 90s or something as like a new flavor? Or have they always been a flavor? Because I feel like, to me,
that was the 90s.
In my mind, they're still like the new Doritos, you know?
Oh, no, they're like 30 years old.
Well, I know they're like 30 years old, but I mean, think about me as a 4-year-old. They don't have them, and then one day they have them. You're like, oh, damn, these are the new Doritos. So I feel like that always sticks with me.
Were you there when the Cheetos went hot?
Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, dog, actually.
Or the Hot Funyuns? When they made fucking Hot Funyuns, bro?
I feel like Hot Funyuns were made after Hot Cheetos as kind of like they were kind of biting it, you know?
They were, but they did a great job because that shit's fire.
Yeah. No, Doug, I remember my sister. You know what? And people say that like Latina girls, you know, they're crazy with their red fingers because they always have the Hot Cheetos. Dog, that is
finger.
That's 9,000,000% my sister. Dog, she was literally like 5 years old. Like
now it's Takis.
Just freaking yeah, I have like my little nephews and stuff like with their Takis, but the Cheetos,
that's the shit now for them, huh?
Doug, I remember those. My little sister was like barely old enough to eat them, but she was like and eating them because she thought they were so bomb. So yeah, man.
That's the days, bro. That's the good shit. But yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, but do you have anything else, Doug, or do you think it's about time for us to wrap this up? And that's one thing that Mr. Beast had said not to say, so maybe I cut this out. But he was like, as soon as you start wrapping up a show, boom, people are out. So I don't want people to be out. You know what? Maybe we wrap it up, and then after wrap it up. After we're wrapping it up, maybe we give away a T-shirt or something for those that were actually loyal enough to listen. But
or a burrito.
Do you have anything right now, Doug, that you wanted to get to that I didn't let you because I never shut up?
No, that's true, but no, I'm good.
All right, man. Well, I guess after show, but later. Do you have any shout outs today?
Shout outs to everybody out there. We love you all. Fucking shout out to fucking Stickman, Columbo, fucking Tip Dog, Meatball, all my Stizzy team, fucking Funky Monkey, Carl Reinhardt, MD on Instagram. You know, everybody that supports us, man. Anybody that supports. Shout out Rich Davis for actually checking us out and giving us a little airtime. Like he's been a little resistant before, but hey, that made us feel good, man. So shout out everybody that supports us.
And you know what? I just want to add on real quick. There was a couple of names that I saw recently. Kevin Cedarholm. That dude's been showing us some love, so I know he doesn't get enough love here on the show, but I see you, Kevin Cedarholm. So that's what's up, man. And we see Jim Milliorn. I don't know if he's French, but Jim. I know Jim's having a rough time, the last few months, the last year, he's been going through some stuff. So, Jim, we're glad that we could help you out, entertain you a little bit. And then the last person I want to say what's up to is somebody named Sean Hall. So, shout out to Sean Hall. He's this white dude, and
any relation to Scott Hall?
You know what's funny is that all the Halls that I grew up with, they were all brothers and sisters. And this dude I saw, Sean Hall, I saw he was a white guy, so I was like, I never put Scott Hall and I never put it together, that white guy, right? But shout out to all the Halls, Sean, Pass, Scott, Robert. All of them. So shout out to all the Halls. Everybody, episode number 148. We'll see you guys in episode number 149. You know what that means, Okakui?
I do.
Actually, you know what? I think this marks 100 because we had number 69 and a half. So would the math make this 100?
I think it is.
So let's go ahead and episode number 100 together, your boys D. El Kakui. This has been a great 100 episodes, man. You always make the conversation so easy. I got some feedback this week about, in our last episode, we talked about how we actually became a duo, how we became the after show, but later. And we got some feedback this week that we're saying how it's definitely a great show. We have great chemistry. People dig it. So I appreciate El Kakui making time every week to do this because,
appreciate you too, bro.
It's just, I appreciate you appreciating me and everybody that's listening. We appreciate you guys. So
hell yeah.
After show, but later, 100 episodes together to 1,000 more of me and El Kakui. We will see you guys in episode number 149.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.